Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sociology with Dr. Umabati. Today, we are going to discuss an important topic in sociology, namely sociology and common sense. This topic helps us understand why sociology is considered a scientific discipline and how it differs from everyday understanding of society. Although all of us live in society and observe social life every day, sociology teaches us to look beyond appearances and understand the deeper social forces that shape human behavior. Human beings constantly try to understand the world around them. We make judgments about family, education, religion, politics, poverty, and many other social issues. Most of these judgments are based on our experiences and observations. However, sociology asks whether these beliefs are always correct. It encourages us to question what seems obvious and to examine social reality systematically. Therefore, understanding the relationship between sociology and common sense is the first step towards developing a sociological perspective. Both the relationship between sociology and common sense, both sociology and common sense deals with society and human behavior. Both attempt to explain why people act in different ways. However, there is an important difference. Common sense is based on everyday experiences and personal observations, while sociology relies on systematic research and evidence. Sociology seeks deeper explanation and tries to understand how social structures influence people's actions and beliefs. Common sense refers to the knowledge and beliefs that people acquire through everyday life. It consists of ideas that are generally accepted by members of society. For example, people may believe that hard work leads to success or that education improves life opportunities. Such ideas guide our daily behavior and decision making. Since common sense develops naturally through social interaction, people often accept it without questioning its validity. Common sense has several characteristics. First, it is based on personal experiences. Second, it is informal and does not follow scientific procedures. Third, it is influenced by cultural traditions, religion, and family values. Finally, it varies from one society to another. As a result, what is considered common sense in one society may not be accepted in another society. The limitations of common sense. Although common sense is useful in daily life, it has limitations. Personal experiences are often limited and may not represent the experiences of society as a whole. Common sense explanations can also be influenced by prejudice, stereotypes, and cultural biases. Therefore, relying only on common sense may lead to incorrect conclusions about social reality. This is one reason why sociology developed as a scientific discipline. Sociology is the scientific study of society, social relationships, and social behavior. The term sociology was introduced by Auguste Comte, who is known as the father of sociology. Sociology examines how individuals interact with one another and how social institutions such as family, religion, education, and economy influence human life. Its goal is to understand society systematically and scientifically. Sociology emerged during the 19th century in Europe. Major social changes such as the Industrial Revolution and the French Revolution transformed traditional society. Cities grew rapidly, industries expanded, and social problems increased. These changes created a need for a scientific study of society. Sociologists began to investigate the causes and consequences of these transformations. One of the most important features of sociology is its scientific approach. Sociologists collect data through surveys, interviews, observations, and research studies. They analyze evidence carefully through drawing conclusions. Unlike common sense, sociology does not rely solely on opinions or assumptions. Instead, it seeks objective and verifiable explanations of social phenomena. Sociology versus common sense. Let us compare sociology and common sense. Common sense is based on personal experiences, whereas sociology is based on systematic research. Common sense is often subjective, while sociology aims to be objective. Common sense usually accepts belief as they are, whereas sociology questions assumptions and investigates their causes. This distinction makes sociology a scientific discipline rather than merely everyday knowledge. Sociology does not reject common sense. It is important to note that sociology does not completely reject common sense. Many sociological questions originate from everyday observations. However, sociology goes beyond these observations and examines them critically. In other words, common sense may provide a starting point, but sociology verifies or challenges these beliefs through scientific investigation. Consider the example of gender roles. Common sense often suggests that women are naturally better at household work and men are naturally better leaders. Sociologists question this belief. They argue that many gender differences are socially constructed through socialization, education, culture, and media. Therefore, sociology examines how society shapes gender expectations and behavior. Let us take another example, poverty. A common sense explanation may state that poor people are poor because they do not work hard enough. However, sociology studies broader factors such as economic inequality, unemployment, lack of education, social class, and government policies. Thus, sociology provides a deeper and more comprehensive understanding of poverty. Common sense often assumes that educational success depends entirely on individual effort. Sociologists argue that many other factors influence educational achievement, including family background, economic resources, school quality, and social environment. Therefore, sociology helps us understand that success or failure is often connected to broader social conditions. The sociologist Peter Berger highlighted the importance of questioning appearances. He famously stated, "The first wisdom of sociology is that things are not what they seem." This means that sociologists look beyond surface appearances and search for deeper social explanations. Sociology encourages us to question accepted beliefs and investigate how society actually works. Another important thinker is C. Wright Mills. He introduced the concept of sociological imagination, which refers to the ability to connect personal experiences with larger social forces. According to Mills, individuals should understand how their lives are shaped by social structures, historical events, and cultural conditions. Personal troubles and public issues. C. Wright Mills distinguishes between personal troubles and public issues. For example, if one person loses a job, it may be a personal trouble. However, if millions of people lose jobs during an economic recession, it becomes a public issue. Sociology helps us connect individual experiences with larger social conditions and understand the relationship between the two. Anthony Giddens emphasized the importance of sociological thinking in everyday life. According to Giddens, sociology enables individuals to view the social world critically and understand how social institutions influence their behavior. It encourages people to become more aware of the connections between personal choices and social structures. Importance for UPSC aspirants and the summary. For UPSC aspirants, this topic is extremely important because it develops analytical and critical thinking. It teaches us how to move beyond simple explanations and examine social issues scientifically. This approach improves answer writing, essay writing, and understanding of current social problems. We have to remember that common sense provides everyday explanation, sociology provides scientific explanation, sociology questions assumptions, research and evidences are central to sociology. I have already told about this, about the key points of the common sense. To conclude, sociology and common sense both attempt to understand society, but they differ in their methods and approach. Common sense is based on personal experiences and cultural beliefs, whereas sociology uses scientific methods and systematic research. Sociology encourages us to question what seems obvious and to search for deeper social explanations. Thank you for watching this lecture. If you found it useful, please like, share, and subscribe to Sociology with Dr. Umabati. In the next lecture, we will discuss sociology and social sciences. Thank you and see you in the next lecture.